Good evening, everybody. This is Chris Stark with Coach Stark Homes, and you're watching another episode of Home Court Advantage, which I'm pretty excited about tonight because it's dear to my heart. And we're going to talk about the Section 7 basketball tournament, one of the top basketball tournaments as far as high school teams and players in the country. And I needed to bring on my buddy Todd Fazio, highly decorated coach of Highland High School, one of the event coordinators, and we're going to talk about this amazing event and why, if you're definitely in the Phoenix area, it's a great opportunity for you to watch some high-end basketball from teams all across the country. So let's go ahead and bring on Coach here real quick. And Coach, how you doing, bud?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. Hey, first and foremost, thanks for joining me here tonight. I know this is a pretty amazing tournament. I know you guys put a ton of effort into it. Why don't you tell everybody real quick what it's about, why you do it, and just kind of let everybody know what's happening.
Yeah. So Section 7 is a scholastic NCAA Division I live event. And the NCAA changed the rules a few years ago where it allowed for scholastic teams live event in June. So live events have usually been a couple in April, a couple in July, and they changed it to where there's a couple in June now for high school teams to play in front of college coaches, which is a pretty cool thing. And we're excited about it. It's at State Farm Stadium where the Arizona Cardinals play. And we've brought in 12 floors, 24 baskets. We just got those laid down, and they're all ready to go about 3 hours ago. So we're all set for the weekend. We're actually ahead of schedule of where we were last year. Last year, it was the first year we had run it there, and we learned a lot from last year. So we're ahead of schedule. It's a really fun event. Which we can talk about in a little bit, but it's a free event. So it's free for anybody to come in and watch. And it's on Father's Day weekend, which I can't imagine a better place to go take your dad on Sunday than watch a bunch of basketball. But we've got 242 teams from 12 different states, and we have a lot of the top players in the country, which is a pretty exciting thing.
What I think one of the best things about it is it's not their club team. It's their high school team with their high school coaches. And of course, we have a ton of Arizona schools in it. And I think one of the things that I think is great about this event is just how many teams are there and the college coaches are there. And so it's a great opportunity for these kids to get kind of the exposure that they're looking for. Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the coaches that have committed as far as universities or coaches and just how special it is to actually be playing with the high school team?
Yeah, that is really the neat thing about it. And I really feel you need both. I think you need the club teams to play in it just because it concentrates the talent. You get a lot more for the college coaches to see a lot more players that are ready to play at their level in one place. But we have heard a lot of feedback from college coaches over the past 3 years, how much they enjoy the high school end of it because they get to see structure, a little more structure defensively and offensively, see kids in different roles. There might be a kid on a club team who's the 8th or 9th guy and comes in off the bench and is kind of a role player. And in this event, he's the guy. Right. And you get to see him in a different different capacity. And you get to see a little more, high school coaches are with their guys almost year round. They played a season with them. So they have things in place that they can put in these things that club coaches who, probably practice 2 times a week for a few weeks before playing games don't have things in place. So the structure of it, I think the college coaches really enjoy. We're expecting over 500 college coaches there. We had close to 400 last year. That just the coach packets that have been requested already, we're probably twice of where we were at last year. And we'll have every conference represented: the Big Ten, Pac-12, SEC, ACC. All the big sky, like the biggest conferences and the not as big conferences will all be represented, and as well as the NCAA Division II teams, Division III, NAIA, junior college. So there's a lot of teams that may not have a Division I player on their team, but they'll be get to play in front of a lot of Division II coaches, which a lot of these kids don't have an opportunity to do.
Well, And as you know, I mean, obviously being from the Midwest, for those who don't know, Coach Fazio was from Iowa, from the Midwest. And, there's so many Division II and Division III programs in that Midwest where there's so many more opportunities to probably play at the next level. Well, here in Arizona, we just don't have that amount of those players, those colleges. So it's really cool to be able to have those coaches come to this event to be able to take a look at some of the talent that's in Arizona, because there is an extreme amount of high-end talent here in Arizona.
Yeah, and like I said, like a lot of those smaller schools, coaches, they'll go out to club events and they won't see the kid that there might be a kid that could play for them that may never touch the floor, may never
Sure.
get on the floor, and so this is a great opportunity. And we have a lot of smaller school coaches that have come the last couple of years, and we have a lot more coming just because of kids that were signed from this thing last year by those smaller schools that other schools in their conferences saw. So we've heard a lot from the smaller schools. The first year we did it, which was 19, we were off in 20.
Right.
And then we came back last year. So this is our third year doing it. But, the first year we had $20 million in scholarships that were offered that weekend after the event. And then last year was a little over 30 million. So this thing is not, it's exciting to have the big time coaches and the big time schools there, but there's also the other schools that really benefit from this thing too.
Well, that's awesome. And speaking of benefits, one of the things that you guys are putting on, which is amazing, is a clinic. And I'd love for you to talk about this girls clinic that you guys are putting on, because I think it's amazing and a real great opportunity for girls that are playing basketball, especially at the youth level. Yeah.
So the Arizona Basketball Coaches Association, when people think of the ABCA, they think of Section 7 and Hoop Hall. We were in a Hoop Hall West event, and which are the big time events.
Sure.
But we are doing a lot of probably more geared towards the youth end of things for us, where we've got a youth development academy, a youth program for 3rd through 8th grade teams in the state, where we have over 100 teams each season in that. And then another initiative of ours is to really build the girls game, the girls side of it. We just seen the participation levels at the high school level drop a little bit, and you see a lot more high school teams not being able to field a freshman, JV, and varsity team. Those numbers have really dropped, and in 6A and 5A, where you think that all those schools that size should be able to have 3 teams, less than 50% of them were able to field all 3 teams.
Really?
We've seen kind of a trend over the last couple of years of participation numbers going down in girls basketball a little bit. So we're really pushing girls basketball, really trying to build it from the roots and build it from the young ages, so they stay involved. And we feel the best way for girls to continue playing basketball is for girls to play with girls and against girls. And a lot of times girls at a young age will play on a boys team. Sure. And never touch the ball. We know how boys are. So it goes from want to play basketball, and they end up playing track because they just run up and down the floor without touching the ball. So then they just stop playing because it's not fun. So one thing that we are really, really trying to build is the girls game. We've got unbelievable girls basketball coaches in our state. So we really want to use those resources that we have. And we're running, we started an initiative called Admire Her, which is to build the girls game. And we've done free clinics. We did a free clinic last fall. We've been running some other small events throughout the year. And this Thursday at 12 o'clock from 12 to 1 at State Farm Stadium on the courts that those high school teams will be playing on this weekend, we'll have a free clinic for all girls basketball players from 3rd grade to 12th grade. And it's whoever wants to pick up a ball and learn how to play a little bit. It's from 12 to 1. It's free at State Farm Stadium, and we're really excited about that.
What a cool opportunity for especially free. I mean, and at the end of the day, with everything going on, it's nice to be able to have something free and to be able to come down there. So let's pivot real quick into some of the brackets, because I know that I want to kind of get into some of these things real quick with you and kind of talk about maybe some of the teams that maybe people don't know about that might be excited about. So if we're looking here at the Fiesta Bowl bracket, I definitely see that there's some Arizona teams in it. But why don't you talk about a couple teams and maybe a couple players that people don't know about, that if they come down and want to watch this, and I can't stress enough how high end basketball this is, that they want to maybe take a look at.
Yeah. So what we're really excited about, we've obviously got some really, really good high school teams, but also we have some players that we really would really like to showcase. But Corona Centennial out of California is phenomenal. They're unbelievable. They came down to Hoop Hall last fall, played at Footprint Arena, but they're loaded. Their top players, Devin Williams, who's a 23 kid, will be a senior this year, top 25 player in the country. But he's got multiple Division I players on that team, and really, you look down this list. All of these teams, this bracket, the Fiesta Bowl bracket, the Mayo Clinic bracket, all of these teams have multiple Division I players. Perry High School, obviously Arizona school, has Cody Williams. Koa Pete is the number 2 player in his class, which is a class of 25, number 2 player in the country. Playing in that, he's a special player, and Cody Williams also is a top 25 player in his class. So,
and Pete's only a sophomore, correct?
Koa will be a sophomore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's special, and so So, but you look at, like, any team you pick on there, they are going to have multiple Division I players, and that bracket is loaded. We thought last year we were looking at the brackets. We're like, I don't know how it could get any better than this. And then this year, it got better. So we're really excited about this bracket in the Mayo Clinic. We're excited about all the brackets, but these 2 brackets are off the charts.
Sure. Well, you brought it up, so let's get into this is the Fiesta bracket, and here's the Mayo bracket that you were kind of talking about, and maybe name a couple of teams. I see Bishop Gorman on there. Maybe some teams that maybe people have heard of before, and maybe someone that has, again, I know, like you said, they're all, these are all top teams in the country with top level talent, but maybe some teams that people have heard of that they can take a look at.
Yeah. So you look at St. John Bosco, that's on here. They have a kid that's going to be a sophomore, Elsie Harrington, who's the number 5 player in his class in the country. So in these 2 top brackets, we've got the number 1, the number 2, and the number 5, and the number 21 player in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, Cameron Boozer, who's playing out at Columbus High School out of Florida. I don't know if people will remember the Boozer name, but he's got twins, and one is Cameron Boozer, who's the number 1 player in the country for the 25 class, and then his twin brother is special, who's a top 50 player as well. With Koa Pete, the number 2 player, Cameron Boozer, the number 1 player, Harrington, the number 5 player, like there is some young talent. But Bishop Gorman, I don't want to forget their kid, Jace Richardson. Jace Richardson's a 24 kid, so he'll be a junior. He's a top 25 player in his class. Liberty out of Nevada has Devin Thomas, who's a top 30 player in his class, which he's also going to be a junior. So you go up and down. I mean, it's a really special. And
that kind of goes back to what you were saying before. So for free, you could get into State Farm Arena, which is obviously, air conditioned, and you can see some of the best talent in the country, all in one roof, which is, you could literally, I know we start Thursday. I think first game's 4:40 or 4:30, I think, but you could go all day on Friday, Saturday, and see just game after game after game after game of just top level talent. And then again, there's so many Arizona schools in there as well that, you could always, you go see your local team, the team that you live by, to go watch them play a little bit, and then go catch that, kid that maybe down the road, you're like, hey, that kid's playing at Duke or Carolina or, ASU. I mean, I like to put ASU in that same category. Yeah. Sorry, have to do it. I hope Bobby's there. But with that being said, it's just like, you'll see him you'll see him at this event, and then see him on ESPN 2 years later, and you'll remember, oh my gosh, I saw him in this tournament. So that's what's one of the things that's amazing about this tournament. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's free. It's free to get in there and watch this amazing talent.
Yeah, I think what we hear over and over, and I'm a dad too of a young athlete, and so it gets tiresome, and people are a little worn out with going to watch their kids play and pulling out a small loan to watch. If you want to take a family of four, it can cost, $200 to go watch your kids play 4 games over a weekend. So this is something that was really important to us, to provide, not only the families of those players to go watch their son play where they're not paying a lot of money, but also the people in the community. Like we really want to, as the Arizona Basketball Coaches Association, we really want to build basketball in Arizona. And we can't think of a better platform to do that with these types of teams that are playing in our state. And we want everyone to have access to be able to go watch those games. That is something that was really important to us, and I'm glad we could figure it out. And we're pretty proud of that.
Coach, last thing I think it's important to ask, and I know you and a lot of other coaches as well are putting in just endless days to get this thing up and running. Just for everyone to know, how many people are that are helping organize this event from the Arizona Basketball Coaches Association to put this together, because it doesn't happen with just 1 or 2 people. I mean, there's a lot of people that are obviously helping put this thing together. Just how many coaches, and again, they're doing this for free. I mean, what can we do to try to, I guess, for lack of better words, just honor what you guys are doing to put this together?
Yeah, well, we're really, really lucky that we have high school coaches. High school coaches are used to doing things and not getting a lot of money. So
right.
Like asking guys to volunteer. I mean, we are overstaffed with volunteers, which
Great.
Anyone that wanted to help, we were more than happy to take. We need all the help we can get. It is important to point out that our executive director of the ABCA, Matt King, leads this thing, and he has he is the brains behind this operation, and he has done an unbelievable job. And I just do what he asks me to do, and we follow him. He's an unbelievable leader, but he has a vision. He's had a vision for this thing and has worked tirelessly to make this thing happen. And but guys like Mark Wood at Liberty, super involved. Matt Gordon, who was the former coach at Phoenix College. Gary Lee down at Mika Mountain, who was the coach at Cesar Chavez. Ray Arvisu, who's a community guy, basketball guy, who's we pick his brain constantly, and he's been a huge help. But we've got a ton of coaches willing to volunteer, and coaches working the event too. Guys like Jay Casario who've been around, Ray Portella at Sunny Slope, Matt Hooten over at Brophy, like guys at Matt Elliott, who's been around the game for a long time. So really, really good coaches, but guys that want to continue to give back and help this thing. And listen, there is no way this thing would go off the ground and be able to be even close to where it is without the help of our high school coaches. And we're really, really, really fortunate, and it's fun to kind of work side by side with those guys.
Absolutely. Coach, I know I've taken up enough of your time. I'm sure are you still at the arena now, or are you back home?
No, I was out there Sunday night, just as they were finishing up the courts and getting those finished up. I'll be out there all day Tuesday now, and we'll be living out there as it's gearing up. But we're really excited about it. I hope, especially like people in the West Valley, who it's a hop, skip, and a jump to get to that stadium, to come out, enjoy some free basketball, and watch some of the best players in the country. And what's a pretty cool thing, which we're really looking forward to, is with the Final Four being in at State Farm Stadium in a couple of years, and having these kids play high school tournament, and then turn around. It'd be pretty neat to see some of these guys playing in the Final Four in that same arena.
Absolutely. Hey man, thanks so much for joining us. I can't wait to get down there. I was there last year, of course, and down there and watch you guys play. And I can't thank you guys enough for what you do for high school basketball in Arizona, and now even expanding that to the country and bringing these top players in front of these coaches. Coach, thanks so much for joining me. Have a great rest of the evening, my man.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, man.
Yep. Guys, if you have an opportunity to come down there, I can't stress it enough. It's such an amazing event. And to watch these high-level kids that are going to be playing at the next level, they're going to be on ESPN, they're going to be on CBS, they're going to be in the tournament before you know it, and you're going to be able to watch them before they get there. I highly recommend heading on over there. Have a great rest of the evening, guys. Be safe, and I will see you on the next Home Court Advantage. Take care, guys.